Alright, welcome to the Light the Fuse Wrestling Podcast. Light the fuse, bring the boom. I am MTG right here with my guest GRT. Say hi to everybody, man.
How y'all doing?
And today we're going to be discussing what all happened this week in professional wrestling. We're going to be discussing Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and Dynamite, all in the same thing, and see what we can expect tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. Here are the quick and dirty, editorial-free WWE Raw results for February 17, 2020. The show featured Matt Hardy being re-injured by Randy Orton, a profane appearance by Shayna Baszler, and more. Make sure to complete here tomorrow for the best of Raw. Alright, the full Raw results are going to start with this. Randy Orton opened the show by telling the audience Matt Hardy was not medically cleared as such. They would have not had a no-holds-barred match that evening after all. So basically, Orton came out, he was saying Matt Hardy's not medically cleared to compete, and there was a supposed no-holds-barred match they was supposed to be in. Hardy came out in street clothes and a neck brace, demanding answers from Orton as to why he tried to end Edge's comeback. Orton beat down Hardy again, giving him 2 concertos on the steel ring steps. Hardy was stretchered out during the commercial break. Now, what do you think of what Orton has been doing lately with this whole Edge thing? Because Edge returned miraculously after being medically cleared at the Royal Rumble, and the next night, Randy Orton turns on him and gives him a concerto, kayfabe injuring him. What do you think? Where do you think this is going to lead to? I know it's going to lead to a WrestleMania match, but what is your opinion?
I think it's basically just going to lead to a main event, and the main event.
But will it
for
be
WrestleMania?
Well, will it be like a no holds barred scenario? Will this be a retribution? Will it be a street fight? What is going into this story besides?
I believe it's just going to be a no holds bar, if I'm guessing.
Because what would happen when these two former best friends of Rated RKO go in a one-on-one match? Because it was supposed to be at Super Showdown, but we all see how this is going. We're going to stretch the longevity of it to go to WrestleMania, as we are almost, I think 40-something days away.
Yeah.
And now let's
Close
see.
enough to it.
Let's go with next. The first match on there, Aleister Black versus Eric Rowan. After 2 consecutive Black Mass kicks, Aleister Black defeated Eric Rowan. Then they cut to the next thing. Charlotte Flair came out wearing NXT colors and cut an in-ring promo retaliating that she is challenging Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Now,
Is she going to get it?
That's the thing, but here's also something we have to think about. For the first time ever, NXT is participating at WrestleMania in some capacity. Charlotte Flair could have chose the Raw Women's Champion or the SmackDown Women's Champion, but no. Rhea Ripley came out, issued the challenge. You want a champion to face? Well, face me. So that's why we have NXT champion versus a main roster star at a WrestleMania. This is unheard of, which I find, which is great, you know?
Yes.
But thinking this early on,
It'll give everybody something new to watch, you know?
I agree, but
Instead of your basic, Raw Women's
I
title.
know they're still
SmackDown.
building right now to it, but
So
what
now it's NXT.
Yes. But where I'm getting at is, as of we're just starting the storyline, who do you think right now, it may change later on down the line, but who do you think would win at WrestleMania right now? Charlotte or Rhea Ripley?
Well, depends.
And depends how. Like, the difficulty, the stipulation.
Stipulations.
Because we already know the NXT title is on the line.
Yes.
But
What are the stipulations?
could it be like a ladder match? Could it be something towards a street fight, a submission match? A submission match would be more towards Charlotte's favor due to the fact that she is a technical, sound wrestler in a submission field. Because, she used the figure 8, and she's crafted that to perfection.
And it does not feel good.
No, I know. I'm well aware. All right, second match up for grabs. We got the 24/7 championship triple threat. We had Riddick Moss, the champion, versus R-Truth and Mojo Rawley. By rolling up Rawley for the 3 count after the match, Riddick Moss won the match. But right after, Rawley confronted R-Truth, who then beat Rawley up. So Riddick Moss was able to escape with the 24/7 title, and R-Truth got beat up. Then we cut to Drew McIntyre came to the ring and had an entire arena point at the WrestleMania sign while he promised to defeat Brock Lesnar. Your thoughts of this? Drew McIntyre, after winning the Royal Rumble, just, is basically saying, he's saying that he is going to win at WrestleMania. He's not saying, I'm going to try. No, I am gonna whip Brock Lesnar's ass, and that is what he plans on doing.
So Brock Lesnar is competing in the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble, yes, he did. He came in at number 1. Drew McIntyre was the one who eliminated him from the Royal Rumble, and then went on to win the Royal Rumble. That's why we got Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar in the main event. And there's something I want to bring up as well. I saw this on Facebook today. It was a meme. It was when Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre was all in a group. They was known as 3MB, okay? Mm-hmm. 7 years ago, Heath Slater said that at least one member of 3MB will main event WrestleMania. Look where we're at now. Yes. Drew McIntyre, after being fired and reinventing himself, comes back and is now the sexy Scottish psychopath. That is a quote. I do not want to say that's me saying that. But I think Drew, he has my full support ever since his face turn. He's got everything, even the shirt, Claymore Country. It's just awesome.
But there's also supposedly, from what I've seen, you know how whenever you're like scrolling through YouTube, they'll have like these little pictures and like a caption.
I believe it's called clickbait.
Yes, but it's supposedly said Stone Cold was supposed to be at WrestleMania.
In some sort of capacity, but will he be involved with this Lesnar type stuff? I doubt it, because I think it's Drew's time. I think it's this time now that Drew McIntyre gets what he deserves. He's worked so hard, and he's not bad at all. He's going here to run roughshod like he did in NXT. He had a destructive NXT championship reign until it was ruined by, I believe, Andrade. I might be wrong. Now, the next thing, it was Drew McIntyre versus MVP, of course. We already know how this went. MVP put Drew McIntyre over. He got hit with a Future Shock DDT and a Claymore kick, and that was it. Wasn't much of a fight. Now, who do you think's going to win at WrestleMania? Drew McIntyre or Brock Lesnar? Because remember, Paul Heyman says he doesn't give you, all this stuff. He gives you spoilers. And when Paul Heyman says something, you might as well nip it in the bud, because it's going to happen, Who do you think is going to win at WrestleMania right now?
That's kind of hard to say.
I'm with Claymore Country all the way right now. Brock does not need that WWE championship. He's just holding it. If
Brock gets it, he's going to do like he's been doing, not even showing up.
Well, he's scheduled to be on Raw tomorrow.
Yes.
Which means
he's scheduled only 4 times a year to appear on Raw.
I agree, but except for last week, Brock has been on every Raw of 2020 except for last week.
Yes.
Which is good. He's appeared more than he did all last year. That's messed up.
It's true.
Yeah. All right, next we got Becky Lynch. She brought a paper bag full of money to the ring and dumped it out in the ring, saying she would use it to pay her fine or whatever she does to Shayna Baszler next time she sees her. Very, very nice on that part. Baszler appeared on the Titantron and promised Lynch that she would win the Elimination Chamber match and go on to win the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania 36. She then promised to tear the living shit out of Lynch, who appeared unfazed. Now, do you think Shayna Baszler is going to win Elimination Chamber? She's tough enough, don't get me wrong, but this is going to be her debut match on the main roster besides Survivor Series.
But this will be her first WrestleMania match?
First time ever. If she wins the Elimination Chamber, she has to go through the Elimination Chamber first.
Yes. So, if she goes through the Elimination Chamber and faces Becky Lynch,
yes. Right
now, Mr. McMahon is giving her a push.
Yes. I mean, how can you not with the Queen of Spades, with the MMA background she does, the longest reigning two-time NXT Women's Champion?
Yes. So, right now, Mr. McMahon is giving her that push.
Yes.
So that
she can win. If not win, then just push her over the cliff like they do with Roman,
Yeah.
Now, I want to see something that she pointed out. She said she was going to tear the living shit out of her. Now, someone went on Twitter to Shayna Baszler and said, I know this is a PG show, but, my kids are watching. Could you not use your profanity? Shayna Baszler replies with, I don't give a shit about your kids, or something of that capacity. I don't want to be quoted, but she did say something to that capacity.
So she said it in a way.
Well, she's a heel. That's what she is. That's what she does. Next on there, we got Bobby Lashley and Angel Garza versus Humberto Carrillo and Rusev. Rusev finally returned after weeks of being off of television. Last time we see him was about the time of the wedding.
Yes, actually the day of the wedding.
He came out of the damn cake, and it was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Zelina Vega and Lana were both present at ringside. Garza ripped off his pants mid-match, threw them at Rusev, and then ran outside. He then asked female fan to kiss him. She, of course, did. Later in the match, Rusev tried to lock in the Acolyte on Garza to only have Lashley get up out of the apron. Rusev hit him with a Machka kick, but then, of course, rolled up by Garza for the win. After the match, Rusev then beat up Angel Garza, which he does have a punchable face. Don't get me wrong. I totally would do the same thing.
Oh, yes.
Now, this match wasn't too important. It just ran me a filler, so we're just going to go over it. Next, we had Kairi Sane versus Natalya. Kairi Sane got the victory in this via countout. Asuka kicked Natalya in the head, who was outside of the ring, rendering her unable to make the referee's 10 count. Now, see, this was smart on Asuka's part because, the referee's back was turned. She hit her with that super kick. Mm-hmm. And, it created Kairi Sane a good advantage to get the win. Do you not agree?
That is a very smart way.
And then we come back from commercial break. The Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, our Lord, our Savior, not my Lord and Savior. He came to the ring flanked by his disciples, the Authors of Pain and Murphy, to deliver his sermon. Rollins then promised Raw would move forward with his vision, that he phases 2 of the movements will not be easy, but it'll be for the greater good. He promised either retaliate or extradite those superstars who have flawed and non-competent. His sermon was interrupted by, of course, the Viking Raiders, who hit the ring and brawled with AOP and Murphy while Rollins fled. He was then surprised by Kevin Owens, who gave him a, of course, stunner on top of the ramp. Backstage, Charlie Caruso's interviews Seth Rollins and the AOP and Murphy would then fight the Viking Raiders of Kevin Owens tonight. They treat everything like Teddy Long. You know that? Every time something happens, what happens?
Oh, God.
You win a tag team match, player.
Yep.
Exactly. And it makes it worse is that it's a 6-man tag, just like what Teddy Long would do. The only thing that would make it more accurate is if he says, tonight, you going one-on-one with The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
And you have to say it just like that.
Mm-hmm.
We come back from commercial. AJ Styles came to the ring alongside, the OC, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. It is the first appearance since separating his shoulder during the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble. He called out a number of legends, including The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, and the NWO, saying that it is the most phenomenal wrestler of all time, that he will prove it at Super Showdown by winning this Tawick Trophy, whatever the hell it's called, and then again at WrestleMania 36, and then he was interrupted by Ricochet, who he said he would beat Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown. I'm going to do this real quick. Stop the cord real quick. In order for Brock Lesnar to get to WrestleMania, he has to go through Ricochet at Super Showdown. I'm going to ask you this. Who in the hell is going to win out of Brock Lesnar and Ricochet?
Obviously.
Tell me, how is this going to go? Will we see a miracle, or will we see Ricochet move from Paducah, Kentucky to Suplex City, USA?
Well,
now be honest.
Or Ricochet could pull out some Goldberg type stuff. Now, you never know.
Yes, and Nyla Rose can sign with WWE today.
Yes.
So you know how much I'm lying, right? None of that will happen, and you will know this.
Yes.
And then, of course, Luke Gallows and Ricochet would have a match after connecting with a modified GTS out of a fireman's carry. Ricochet, of course, beat him, okay? Charlie Caruso interrupted Liv Morgan about Ruby Riott turning on her. She then will eliminate Riott in the Women's Elimination Chamber and move on to WrestleMania. So now that means we know Shayna Baszler, Liv Morgan, and Ruby Riott have been confirmed for the Women's Elimination Chamber. The other 3 have not been announced yet, as far as I'm concerned, unless I missed that on Raw. Then we have the main event of Monday Night Raw, Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders versus Murphy and the Authors of Pain. After a long back-and-forth match, Kevin Owens hit Murphy with a stunner, but before he could score the pin, Seth Rollins ran in and beat him down, leading to a disqualification victory. Rollins said that they were going to crucify Owens before they could. Street Profits made the save and saved him. And that's basically what happened with Raw. A very moderate show, not nothing too big, not nothing too important, in my opinion, But let's grade Raw. Out of 5 stars, how would you grade Monday Night Raw?
I'd give it about 3.5.
3.5. I'm going for 2.7. The reason why I'm going for 2.7 is because, and I'm going to say this, is because I feel as though I could have fell asleep during this.
Oh, yes.
And not to be rude, this is not me being rude at all. I just feel as though it was...
Nothing really climactic.
Thank you.
Happened. So, it's like a real, just kind of really nothing you would want to see. But you're watching it because you want to see what happens.
Yes.
But it's not like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and watch this and not miss a single thing. Type.
Yeah.
Like when Edge came back.
Oh, Lord, I watched that entire thing. I jumped out of my chair. My girlfriend went flying up in the air.
It's not, expressing that much energy.
I was not marking out. That's the best way to put it.
Exactly, yes.
So, yeah, 2.7 and you're what? 2.7 and you're what?
I'm a 3.5.
3.5, alrighty. And now, are you ready to switch to NXT?
You want to take a quick break?
Oh, no, we're going to switch to NXT real quick.
So, what we got going on NXT then?
So now we got an NXT going on. We start off NXT with the Velveteen Dream interrupting the Undisputed Era. Never one too shy away from a victory lap. Adam Cole kicked off NXT to celebrate retaining the NXT title against Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver Portland, with the help of Johnny Gargano turning heel, might I point out. Mm-hmm. As the Undisputed Era loaned to remain against Panama City, they came out. Oh, no, wait, never mind. The Panama City Playboy was confident, possessed, that Roderick Strong would put an end to Velveteen Dream's late stuff. Velveteen Dream then interrupted and professed that he will beat Roderick Strong.
So, what's going on between them two?
Well, so far? When Velveteen Dream returned, he had Roderick Strong's wife and child airbrushed on his tights. Which I thought he struck a nerve, if you catch my drift,
Oh, yeah, that
definitely struck a nerve, huh?
Oh.
Next, we had the NXT Cruiserweight Championship match. We had Lio Rush versus Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin has the talent and the mean streak, and that combination is going to make it difficult for any challenger to take that away from him. That and the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Lio Rush earned him an opportunity at the Irish Ace by knocking off Angel Garza. He found out firsthand this week the hard-hitting Devlin was nothing to play with, as Jordan Devlin beat Lio Rush. And then, of course, they go in the next match. Tommaso Ciampa addresses Johnny Gargano's actions at TakeOver Portland. Tommaso Ciampa came to NXT this week to deliver a message to his best friend, DIY partner, and all for that. He just kept addressing, and then, unfortunately, Austin Theory had to get the toll, Austin Theory was of course, the unfortunate side of what Tommaso Ciampa had to extinguish onto him. All Day arrived at Full Sail upsettingly for a match, but interruptedly by the Blackheart daddy, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yes.
He inadvertently came out and, assaulted. It was just a straight up beating. Now, I'm not too big on NXT, so I'm kind of just jumbling at this stuff because I'm more interested in Dynamite. That's why we're trying to get this out of the way. We had the Grizzled Young Veterans defeat Raul Mendoza and Jaquin Wilde. I'm not too sure. I didn't see this match. I was watching Dynamite. I do apologize. The tag teams of NXT, consider yourself warned. The Grizzled Young Veterans followed a dominant showing against the team of Raul Mendoza and Jaquin Wilder. If I get this wrong, please put in the comments. I am sorry. But of course, an epic warning. After finishing off Mendoza with a ticket to mayhem, Zach Gibson announced he and James Drake would follow their impressive run against the Grizzled Young Veterans. For the NXT Tag Team Championships, we had Ani Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Broserweights, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. Can anyone stop the Broserweights? The newly crowned NXT Tag Team Champions have been red hot since their formation at the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which they ended up going to win, Yes. And the King of the Bros, I don't know if you've heard lately, but he's been he keeps on. He's talking about how he wants to retire Brock Lesnar. when I think he could, but it's not his time right now. I just do not think it's his time at all.
Well, look how,
Well, like Pete Dunne, he came out.
Yes.
He was the first ever, not the first ever, the second ever, and WWE United Kingdom champion.
Yes, but if you really think about it, Brock Lesnar has been in and out of WWE for a
Well, yes,
while.
but that's the way his contract has been formed, And if Matt Riddle can retire him, by all means, let him retire. But
that's truly up to Brock Lesnar.
yes.
Well, truly up to Vince McMahon.
And truly up to Matt Riddle if he can put him down.
Yes.
Now,
if not, they'll get Seth Rollins to do it.
And see, 3 days after removing their climactic victory against Undisputed Era, we have new NXT Tag Team Champions, the Broserweights,
Yeah.
They was defending their title. No, I don't know if it was defending their title. I believe it was just a non-title match. They defeated Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, who I believe almost won the titles.
Yeah.
Now, here's one of the matches that I thought was just freaking awesome. We had Keith Lee versus Kona Reeves. The NXT Faithfuls have often called Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic the fight forever. And they just might get their way, Keith Lee set to address the Full Sail after retaining his NXT North American title against the Rare Breed at NXT TakeOver Portland, where he was swiftly interrupted by Kona Reeves, in which, Keith Lee, bask in his glory, defeated him in unconvincing fashion.
So now he truthfully had to bask in his glory.
Exactly. Everybody had to bask in that glory. Now, of course, the next match we had, it was Caden Carter versus the newly NXT superstar Chelsea Green with her manager Robert Stone. The relaunch of the Robert Stone brand didn't exactly go according to plan, but it still was successful. With some opportunities to help from Stone, Chelsea Green got retribution from Caden Carter's upset victory last month. This time getting the better of her after hitting a reverse unprettier. So I'm not too sure what move that is. Then Bianca Belair just came out and called out Charlotte Flair, But it was Bianca, She came out and stated that, yes, she herself, she said, don't forget about me, I want Charlotte Flair. So who knows what would happen with that. Then we have the main event. We got the Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong.
Since they have, 2 people calling out Charlotte Flair?
Well, yes, make it a triple threat at WrestleMania, huh?
Exactly.
But where would Bianca be thrown into here at, though? I just don't understand that point. Well, I can see on the NXT brand, but see, Charlotte won the Rumble, so yes, she has the right to challenge.
What you do is, you put up a match, a no-holds-bars match between the two who want to face Charlotte Flair, but the winner
will be added to the match, making a triple threat? Because Rhea's the champion. She's in the match already.
Exactly.
So, okay, I can see how you got it.
Like, if there's 2 extra...
Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae as an example. They fight in a no-holds-barred match. Winner goes to WrestleMania in making it a triple threat. And when it goes to a triple threat, that's automatically a street fight because there's no disqualifications.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we got
That would be the perfect match.
I think so, but
it wouldn't necessarily be perfect.
No, that would make me want Candice LeRae at WrestleMania now because of that.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, now the main event. Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong. Velveteen Dream did not miss a beat in his first match back in months after the Undisputed Era put him on the shelf. But it was Strong in the Undisputed Era whom ultimately had the last laugh, making Dream pay for his psychological warfare. But Velveteen Dream did win the match out of nowhere. Renewing their rivalry in intense fashion, the foes' tension boiled over these strong personal demons that are going through each other. Velveteen Dream did make it personal with his, with Roderick Strong's wife airbrushed on his tights.
Yes.
I mean, what do you think? Do you agree or no?
That basically being like me having...
Say my girlfriend
Yes.
airbrushed on your ass, I would have to punch you, right?
Yeah.
Do you not agree? I mean, that gets very personal very, very quickly,
Yes. That's something you don't...
Not even close,
No. But I get it. It's scripted for him to do that.
Yes.
So that they can get up views.
Well, yes. But it just hit a nerve with me, And I feel as though you don't mess with a man's family. And that's where he's getting at. You do not mess with a man's family.
The Fiend messed with
yes, he
Miz
did.
family.
Yes, he did.
But you got to think about it.
He's able to play these mind games because he's that damn good,
Yes.
So, moving away from the WWE right now, are you ready to go all elite?
Let's go.
All right, all elite, all elite. Here's the quick and dirty editorial AEW results for February 19th, 2020. This is the ins and outs of AEW Dynamite. We start off with the Tag Team Battle Royale. The winner of this match will go on to face Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega at AEW Revolution for the AEW Tag Team titles. After Nick Jackson had already been eliminated, Mac Jackson single-handedly eliminated Santana and Ortiz, earning the Bucks a title shot at Revolution. And I want to point something out. During this Tag Team Battle Royal, when the Dark Order went over the top rope and stuff, they went out to the crowd and stuff. You can look right in the crowd. Somebody was sitting there in the crowd. He might have just been observing, or he might have just been a fan. You never know. But I saw somebody. His name was Raven. He was sitting in the crowd at AEW Dynamite. Now, this may lead to a rumor that he may be the leader of the Dark Order. I can't verify, but he was sitting in the crowd. Do you think this could lead anything, or it was just him visiting as a fan? Your thoughts?
I think this is going to lead to something.
Like how? As him something involved with AEW, backstage, or coming in as something to do with the Dark Order?
I think right now it's staying backstage.
Okay.
And then right now they're slowly giving hints on what they're going to be doing.
Okay.
So what may happen is they may bring it out into the public and reveal.
True. Okay.
Like how many members are of this group.
The Dark Order, they already had so many people. They recruited 2 so far. All right.
Yes, but they might have recruited more.
True.
Know.
It's been rumored after Matt Hardy's contract expires, he wants to jump to AEW and be the leader of the Dark Order. And I can see that now, oh, yes, with the whole Woken and Broken stuff. I think that would be great. Now we got the second match on for grabs. We had Shanna versus Chris Statlander. Now, Chris Statlander won this match via pinfall, and Britt Baker was on commentary for this match. Tony Schiavone interviewed the AEW Women's Champion Nyla Rose, who said that winning the belt was justice because she should have been the first ever Women's Champion. If you notice, it was Riho versus Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's title on the debut episode of Dynamite, in which the 98-pound Riho came out victorious.
Yes.
And in unconvincing fashion, she was not expected to win, but she did it, and now her reign has come to an end via Nyla Rose,
Yeah.
Because she should have been the first ever women's champion, and her face should be on all the posters. She said that Rio might be brave, but Nyla represents power. Chris Statlander came out and acted like she was going to boop Nyla Rose's nose, kind of like how E.T. is. I'll be right here.
Just like SpongeBob with the giant Krabby Patty.
Yeah, with the giant Krabby Patty. Then Big Swole came out. She's a black girl. She comes out with the hair all the way kind of like Bianca's, but it's like dreaded out.
Mm-hmm.
And she's tough. That's a bad motherfucker. I'm not lying on that. Yeah. Big Swole came out, got straight up into Nyla Rose's face. The officials came out to break them up, and of course a brawl came out.
Mm-hmm.
They was trying to separate them and all that. Then we come to one of my favorite matches of the night. By the way, this was just a stacked Dynamite, much better than NXT. I was so happy for it. We had the former Olympian Jeff Cobb go against Jon Moxley. And Jon Moxley won this match via a small package. And I'm always for Jon Moxley. After the match, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Jake Hager came to the ring, jumped the guardrail because, they bought a ticket. Jericho, I got a ticket. He went, sat down at ringside.
Yes.
As soon as the match came off, they jumped old Moxley. Dustin Rhodes attempted to make the save, but got beaten down too. Then comes out Darby Allin with his skateboard, beats down the inner circle, and does a coup de grace on someone's back with the skateboard on his back. I thought that was one of the best shit I've ever seen. Next, for the AEW Tag Team Championships, we had Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega, the Elite, versus the Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix. And of course, Hangman Adam Page pinned Rey Fenix after the Young Bucks shot/V-trigger combo. Buckshot lariat with a V-trigger combo. Omega and Page will face the Young Bucks at AEW Revolution, which means we have an all-elite tag team match. We got Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, versus Hangman and Kenny, all members of the Elite, all good friends, have to put their differences aside and fight for championship gold.
Didn't Hangman Page and
Kenny Omega
have a match in the beginning of AEW?
No, that was Kenny Omega and who did have the beginning? I can't remember what happened at the beginning of WWE.
Because it was supposed to be Hangman Page.
No, it's supposed to be Hangman versus Pac, but then Hangman got injured, and he ended up in the Battle Royal because Pac had created differences. He ended up winning the the Double or Nothing Battle Royale, the casino one.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what happened. Oh, yeah, he went on to face Chris Jericho for the title to become the first ever champion.
Yes.
Kenny Omega faced Pac at All Out. Yes.
But it was said that Jon Moxley was going to face him, huh?
Yes, but Moxley got staph in his elbow. Yes. All right, then a video segment introduces AEW's upcoming action figures. Yes, AEW now has an action figure line. They got the ring, and I saw on Instagram next to MJF, they got a replica toy one, the AEW belt. Yes. And I want to get it. I just hang it on my wall.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to spend $300-$400 on the real one right now. And then we have the main event. This match, oh my lord. We had Cody Rhodes versus Wardlow in the very first AEW steel cage match.
And the cage looks so good.
It was so much taller than WWE's, and it had like a little bit of a gap, about maybe a half a foot, maybe, between the apron and the cage, so it was a little bit wider. And within the first 2-3 minutes, Cody Rhodes was busted wide open. It was just one of the best matches I've seen in a while. And see, AEW's rules, I like how they did this. They said a cage match is a cage match. Win by pinfall or submission. Escaping the cage does not apply. I thought that was just great.
Yes, they threw their own rules in it.
Their own little twist of everything, and it came out as a success. And to do it in Atlanta, Georgia, of all places, it's just great. A wrestling city. And, alright, the match, it went alright. For a minute, I thought Cody wasn't going to make it. Then Cody climbed to the top of the steel cage and did a moonsault. Of course, he fractured his toe in the process, but Cody Rhodes hit the moonsault, got the 1-2-3. Brandy hit MJF trying to climb the cage with a steel chair, and Arn Anderson threw his ass over the guardrail, saving us. Thank you, Jesus, for what he did. Because without Arn, I don't know where we would be right now. Cody might have lost, because MJF handed Wardlow the Dynamite Diamond Ring,
Yes.
Now Cody gets to face MJF at Revolution. Who do you have in this match?
I'm going to go with Cody.
I think Cody's going to whip his ass.
Yeah.
And make him bleed like a stuffed pig.
I think Cody Rhodes gave himself a good gimmick. Unlike the one he had in WWE.
With Stardust. But he left millions of dollars. He had a guaranteed job for the rest of his life to be a joke. And he came over there. They was like, hey, let's not just join a company. Let's start our company,
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They became All Elite Wrestling. And it came out for the better. It was a huge success. It still is a success. So, Dynamite. How do you grade Dynamite on a 5-star scale?
I gotta give it.
4.5. I will give this a 4-star rating. This Dynamite, it left me on the edge of my seat. I was not tired for the whole 2 hours. This was great. Even though NXT went to overtime, I don't care about the overtime. This is quality wrestling with quality time with quality wrestlers. Yes. Do you argue or no?
Oh no, I can't argue with that.
No.
Like the overall of it's.
Yeah.
Like.
I thought it was great.
It's just awesome. Like it created the same. It kept up its hype.
Oh yes, always, and they always deliver. They like what Cody said on the news. He said this is more like a pay-per-view than a television taping.
Yeah.
And now, are you ready to switch back to the World Wrestling Entertainment?
Yes.
Because, are you ready for a good time? Because we're going to SmackDown. And now we're going to be doing SmackDown. With less than a week until Super Showdown pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, this week's edition of SmackDown served as the go-home show, I guess you can say, where final touches could be added to the storylines before the pay-per-view event. Instead, the focus at the Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona, was equally placed for the building's March Elimination Chamber event, too, as they build to that. The night did end with a pair of meaningful moments for Super Showdown. However, Bill Goldberg delivering a forceful message to The Fiend and Naomi punching her ticket to the first ever women's title match held in Saudi Arabia. Let's look at what went down to the ring and outside of it this week on SmackDown. Goldberg spears The Fiend. Goldberg came to the ring with just moments left in the show, said he wanted The Fiend, whoever or whatever he is. Unbeknownst to him, the Firefly Funhouse theme immediately played. And he was like, "Hey, Bill. Hi, Bill. You're not going to take anything. You're not going to take the Universal title." Wyatt then introduced the Funhouse Puppets before saying that there was someone else who was dying to meet Goldberg. As the arena lights began to shut off, Goldberg smiled before the arena went dark. When the lights came back on, he turned and delivered a spear to The Fiend after a brief stare down. Goldberg lined up to deliver a second spear. The Fiend, clearly hurt, looked at him. The lights went off, and The Fiend left.
You know, what if The Fiend would have stayed?
I feel as though it would have been another spear, jackhammer, and Goldberg come up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, basic Goldberg type stuff.
Oh, yes. Then we had the Usos in the New Day versus John Morrison, Miz, Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler. Now, the New Day and Usos won this match via pinfall. Jey Uso hit Roode with a super kick. The Usos opened the show with an in-ring promo about Miz and Morrison before introducing their tag team partners for the night, opening 8-man tag team match in the Miz and Morrison's opponent at Super Showdown for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode leading to start the match would eventually come close to a foot of Jey Uso. That match was just basically a filler for SmackDown, you know? I ain't got no much to say about it because it was just a match. I mean, I enjoyed it, yes. I didn't say it was bad, no.
The Usos did win.
The Usos
that.
and New Day, yes.
Yes. So, whenever...
It's going to be Miz and Morrison versus New Day at Super Showdown for the tag team titles.
Yes, but the Usos and Roman Reigns...
Yes, they are related.
They are related, but why didn't they bring him out?
Because this was building up to the match they're having a Super Showdown, so they just threw more teams in there, so it's not a 2-on-2, it's now an 8-on-8, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
4-on-4, I'm sorry. Next match we had was Daniel Bryan versus Heath Slater. Now, we all know how this match was going to go. Of course, you know, Daniel Bryan beat Heath Slater with a running knee. Drew Gulak told Daniel Bryan that he had created a PowerPoint presentation to show Bryan all the things he's done wrong lately. Heath Slater then confronted Bryan, demanding a rematch after Bryan stomped his brains in, and I quote, 2 weeks ago, Bryan accepted and suggested Gulak help Slater instead. So, I guess that turned into a,
handicap?
Yeah. A motivated Slater got into some offense, but Bryan scored a fairly quick win for the second time in 3 weeks. Tucker confronted Mandy Rose backstage after Rose stood up Otis, on their Valentine's date last week.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Otis. I felt so bad for Otis.
He got rejected?
No, they got a random text, and then when Otis was going to go meet Mandy Rose at the restaurant, Dolph Ziggler got there first. And Otis was just so sad, and he dropped his flowers and everything. As soon as Dolph Ziggler came up again, talked with Mandy Rose, I don't know where they went, but then Otis was right behind him and just had this look of, you take my woman, I take your head. Basically what was going on.
So he wanted...
Oh, Otis wants blood. Otis wants blood.
Otis wanted a free meal.
No, Otis wanted pretty lady. He wanted the pretty lady. That was his crush. And I feel so bad for Otis. Oh,
God, poor Otis. He tried so hard.
But got so far.
Because in the end...
It doesn't even matter. It's
because Dolph Ziggler...
stole your woman.
He gave the Otis a quick zigzag.
Oh, I see what you did there. Good job, good job. Now we had an exclusive interview with Lacey Evans, of course, Jon Moxley's wife. Dean Ambrose, because you can't say Jon Moxley here in the WWE part. His wife, Renee Young. She discussed bullies and how, She knows that she was a bully and called all these people nasties, but she has ever since she's seen what her daughter has liked about, she has resent that. This is the reason why for this face turn. She learned that all the nasties were not nasties. They was just trying to be cheerful and express their opinions. And she neglected them and threw them away. She felt bad about that now. Then it basically went into depth of the character for her face turn, Not just, oh, hey, yeah, I went to SmackDown. I'm a face now, I'm really buying into this Lacey Evans character. I really am with the whole face thing. Because used to when I heard that, I would go boo. But now I'm like, hey, Lacey Evans, yay.
She had a turn.
Yes, a good face turn.
Mm-hmm.
Next we had a musical symphony street fight something. It was Braun Strowman and Elias. Out of all the people in a tag team, Braun Strowman busted a freaking instruments over this man's back. Now they're in a team together. They defeated Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro in the Symphony of Destruction match after Strowman hit Nakamura with a power slam off the announce table onto a piano.
I mean,
you
do use a piano in a symphony.
Yes,
but he's using it for destruction.
A symphony of destruction.
Yes, you're destructing.
And there was a lot of instruments-based offense in this match with kick drums, ukuleles, guitars, and the aforementioned piano all coming into play with this match.
Or they could have been recognizing the song from Megadeth. Because Elias plays guitar.
Correct. Either that, they could just shove the flute up his ass and play Camptown Races. That's another option,
Yeah.
But as Strowman put away Nakamura, Elias drove Cesaro through a table at ringside with an elbow drop off the top rope. So, a lot of destruction was there.
Oh, yes. Very good.
Next, they had a moment of bliss. Yes, I want to point out SmackDown was halfway wrestling and halfway talking. A moment of bliss. This was the bathroom break for me because I just don't care. I understand it's the Women's Revolution. I understand all this. I just don't care about the Bella Twins. The Bella Twins were the guests on a moment of bliss. For some reason, Nikki Cross wasn't there, but it's okay. But the Bella Twins returned, and they announced that they are the first tag team women for the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2020. And I just went to the bathroom after this. I could have cared less. I really did. Then a pre-taped Sheamus promo aired where he ran down Shorty G and Apollo Crews before confirming that he'll be one of the entrants. In the men's Elimination Chamber, Shorty G and Apollo were backstage before Apollo blew off Shorty G's attempt to unite to take down Sheamus. Because over the last couple times, they've been doing this. And Sheamus always ends it with a bro kick every time.
Yes, well, that's the way to go, bro.
Well, Celtic Warrior, Next, they had Naomi versus Carmella. Naomi defeated Carmella. Once she did this, she defeated her by pinfall with a split-legged moonsault to earn a shot at Bayley at Super Showdown. Now, how do you feel about this? Last October, Natalya and Lacey Evans had the very first women's match in Saudi Arabia. How do you feel about the women's title being defended in Saudi Arabia for the first time ever?
So they're actually allowing it now.
For the first time ever. Never happened till now.
That is going to be very interesting.
Yes, I agree so. But who do you think's going to win, Bayley or Naomi? In Saudi Arabia, because we already know it's going to be a hostile crowd. Because what happened back in October, they threw bottles at Lacey Evans and Natalya.
I got to go with Bayley.
Bayley, you think Bayley's going to go into WrestleMania with her women's title? That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Alrighty. My pick is Naomi. I think she's going to go to WrestleMania, and whoever wins in the chamber or whoever's going to face her will get that opportunity. I think Naomi's going to walk into WrestleMania with the title.
All right, you want to make a bet?
What you got?
We'll discuss the terms off camera.
Agreed. But what is your bet? I want to know what you have. Because if this is the case, I will go get a belt. Whoever wins will get this belt. Go on.
It's not a belt.
I understand, but we're going to put a belt on the line to see who wins these predictions, okay?
If Naomi wins,
okay,
I buy it for you.
Oh, you're going to buy me a drink? That's great.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, all right.
But
loser buys the drinks. If Naomi wins, You buy the drink.
Yes.
If Bailey wins, I buy you a drink.
Yes.
I like this. Okay.
Is that
That's
a
yes.
firm
We
deal?
are handshaking on
Alright.
this. I agree on this. Now,
It's all recorded.
Yes. Now, SmackDown. Grade it on a 5-star scale. Why do you grade Friday Night SmackDown?
Well, considering the fact that
Now, remember, this is the go home show for Super Showdown.
yes, but my favorite part was the beginning with Goldberg.
Yes, this was towards the end, like with 5 minutes left on the show.
Yes.
His entrance was longer than the whole promo.
Yeah, I know. Well, you gotta think. He has to walk from his dressing room.
Well, yeah, of course they do. Goldberg. And he comes
He
out and
has
does all
his
that
little
shit.
tantrum in the room, headbutts the door.
Well, he stopped doing that because, he busts his head
Yes.
open one time. He's just like, I gotta stop that.
He throws a little tantrum. Now he either punches or kicks the door.
And now he comes out and he's like, throws his hands up and kicks it. But what's your grading on this? I know that's your favorite part, but what...
I gotta give it a 4. A solid.
You give it a 4, okay.
Straightforward.
I'm
4.
giving it a 3 because the talking parts, I'd like to watch the wrestling. I understand promos.
Yeah.
But the Moment of Bliss part, that was my bathroom break. And all the others, I just did not like it. The Lacey Evans thing, yes, it built to her character, but if you're going to do that, do it in the ring and then someone interrupts you and you have a match. Don't just do a sit-down interview. That's just me. That's why I'm giving it 3 stars. Because it was good. Because of the Symphony of Destruction. That was my favorite part. The best moment was, of course, the Goldberg stuff. But the favorite match of the night was the Symphony of Destruction. 3 stars.
Yep. So, we still got about what?
Well, we got time, but look, all right, I'm going to ask you. We're going to round off what's going to happen at Super Showdown. This is our predictions. On the next podcast, we're going to see who's going to get the belt, okay? All right, I'm going to round off the matches for Super Showdown, okay? And whoever gets what is going to get the belt, okay?
The belt.
Yes, the belt of predictions. This is the Light Diffuse Championship for predictions, okay?
All right.
And whoever wins this will get this belt, and it's just basically like a 24/7 belt, We're going to look over the predictions and see who gets what. Now, this is the predictions as of right now. Subject card to change between now and Monday Night Raw. Alright. Here is the Super Showdown matches. First match for the Universal Championship. The Fiend versus Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg.
I think Goldberg is going to get it.
You think Goldberg's going to WrestleMania with the Universal title, right?
Yes.
Alright. My pick is The Fiend because he has my back. He does have my back. The Fiend I'm with him all the way. I love The Fiend. I love what he's doing. And I think he can stop Goldberg's dominance.
I do love The Fiend, but for the fact that this is Goldberg.
Yes, and he's destructive.
Very, very, very energetic.
Yes. Now, I got another thing to ask you while this is doing this, okay? How long do you think the match is going to be? Between 1 to 2 minutes or between longer, almost to 5 minutes? Your guess. Because I'm guessing 1 to 2 minutes.
Yes, without a doubt, 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, so we're both on the same page for that.
Yes.
All right, now next match. For the WWE Championship, the Beast, the Conqueror, Brock Lesnar will face Ricochet.
Brock Lesnar's going to win.
Brock Lesnar's going to win.
obviously.
Now, your pick is Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pick Ricochet because this is a shot in the dark. We may see a completely different upset and McIntyre will be able to kill Ricochet at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
That's what we could go for. So your pick is Brock, my pick is Ricochet. For the Raw Tag Team Championships, we got champions. The Monday Night Messiah and Murphy will go against the one, the only. Mixing that shit up, we got the Street Profits. D'Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford.
I'm going to go with Street Profits.
You got Street Profits?
Yeah.
I got the Monday Night Messiah because he's on a roll right now. Yeah. He is on a roll with this Monday Night Messiah stuff. I may not like it, but with this heel turn, he is on a roll. Some people just despise him, that snarky laugh. I hate it, but I love it at the same time.
Like, he's so good as a face.
And he's even better as a heel.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of being good at one?
When you can't be good at the other. Because if you can be a good heel, you can be a good face. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Now next, we got the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We got The New Day versus the returning Miz and Morrison Tag Team. Now, who do you have?
I really didn't like Morrison too much. I did like him on Lucha Underground, though.
As Johnny Mundo?
Yes.
Yes.
He was good at that, along with AJ Styles, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't in Lucha Underground. He was in Ring of Honor and TNA and
Yeah,
New
I'm
Japan.
thinking of TNA.
Yeah.
But anyway.
John Morrison did go to TNA, though, as Johnny Impact.
Yeah, I know that one, too, yes.
But who do you got in this,
But I got to go with the New Day.
You going with the New Day?
I'm going with the New Day.
I think I want to live in 2009 again. Okay?
Okay.
I want Miz and Morrison.
That is understandable because they were a good tag team.
Yes, they beat Matt Hardy and MVP for the tag team titles when they were signed to ECW and brought those titles to ECW, so they appeared on both back in November of 2007. I don't want to be quoted on that. I do not want to be quoted, but I think that's when it happened. All right, so you got New Day. I got Miz and Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we got Roman Reigns versus King Corbin again. But hold on, for the last time in a steel cage.
Roman Reigns right there.
You got Roman? All right. I got Roman.
Do you see why?
Why?
Because now
he's locked in a cage, yeah.
He's locked in a cage.
But the reason why I'm getting at this, I got King Corbin because Rude and Ziggler can still find a way into that cage. There's no disqualifications. They can do whatever they want. I'm just being honest, Now, who do you have? You got Roman?
Wait. Since they can get in the cage,
they got to climb the cage, or unlock the door, And WWE's rules.
The thing is,
what do you mean?
Since it's a no disqualification, someone could come out.
Like the Usos, huh?
The Usos could come out and help Roman.
Oh wait, no, the Usos cannot. They had DWIs. They can't leave the country. Bam. That's like they couldn't go to the Canada show because they...
So who's going to come out and help?
Somebody's got to come out, or it's just going to be a straightforward match, which is not going to happen with WWE standards.
No.
It's just not.
Let's just face the facts.
Now, we're getting back to this. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, for the first time ever, Bayley, Naomi, women's title in Saudi Arabia.
I got Bayley.
You got Bayley, I got Naomi, and we done discussed this. Winner buys the liquor. All right. Now, the Tawick, I don't know how to pronounce this. The Gauntlet Trophy Battle Royale Gauntlet match. It's got Rusev, R-Truth, AJ Styles, Andrade, Eric Rowan, and Bobby Lashley. Now, what this gauntlet is going to consist of, two people are going to start the match, okay? Whoever pins who, after that, another guy will enter. You pin, another guy will enter. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, just to say it's AJ and R-Truth. Say AJ pins Truth. Andrade comes out, okay? Say Andrade pins AJ. Eric Rowan comes out, then, you get what I'm saying? Keep going to the last person standing. Winner's going to get this World Cup trophy. Or I'm guessing it's a trophy, something like that. Now, rumored matches. These are predictions. We got Intercontinental Championship Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, that's just rumored. Take this with a grain of salt. This may happen at Super Showdown, and it may not.
That would be a fascinating match.
Well, I mean, it's a rematch because Strowman done took the Intercontinental title from Nakamura.
Yeah.
All right. Now, who you got, Braun or Nakamura, in case this happens?
Braun.
I got Nakamura because I think he's going to win by disqualification. I don't think he's going to win the belt.
Yeah.
Now, do you think Hulk Hogan will appear here in Saudi Arabia? Yes, no? I think so.
Well, considering the fact that Saudi Arabia has brought out a lot of WWE superstars out of retirement.
Like, not last year's Crown Jewel. He was at last year's Crown Jewel too, but the Crown Jewel before that, he also showed up as the host, made his grand return there,
He's definitely going to be
And see, they did, and he's working on an in-ring return. It's rumored he wants to face Vince, but, you never know. Just take it with a grain of salt.
He needs to bring back Hulkamania.
Well, he's being inducted this year with the NWO,
Yes.
But, do you think, like, how
I honestly... Going back to Goldberg, I didn't even know he was in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is in the Hall of Fame. He got inducted not last year, but the year before.
Yeah, I
in
didn't
New
know
Orleans.
that.
In New Orleans.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's neat for WrestleMania 34.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
But all right, this has been the Light the Fuse Wrestling Podcast. I am MTG.
I am GRT,
and we will see you again next week. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. Please share this on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever this podcast is being distributed. And please, if it's on the Light the Fuse Wrestling Podcast Facebook page, like that and share it with all your friends. We post wrestling memes and wrestling fake news. I am sorry if we piss you off with the fake news. But I hope you all enjoy it. And please like the page and share it with everybody. Y'all have a good day.